Wherefore, Series 2, Episode 29. Simon has been in bank gardens for a week now, at least during his working hours. Currently, the job requires the plotting of evidence of fairy activity and hostile plant matter. He has learned that the small park is a good deal larger than he had previously imagined, and full of invisible corners that lead to other places entirely. He has walked miles and is exhausted and troubled by all the fairy data. It has also come to Simon's attention that his relationship with the district council as employer is not entirely straightforward. He answers to a boss who appears to be based in the council offices at Ambling. This boss is never available by phone or in person, only emails, again clearly from within the council based on the address. Simon is fairly sure that his boss has a name, only he can never remember it outside of their email conversations. This, quite understandably, bothers him. The department Simon works for does not appear on the council website. If he phones the number on the website and asks for his department, the people who answer the phones cannot help him. HR did manage to confirm that he is employed by the council, but when asked, were unable to tell him what his job description is. They did offer to get it emailed to him. Simon declined. Someone wants him to map the places where reality is too thin. Simon has no idea how to tell when this is the case, but he's made a list of indicators anyway, based on his own feelings and desperation. He mapped sightings of insubstantial Ice Age megafauna because there's a lot of that about and clearly it's weird. He notes anywhere that makes him feel uncomfortable, which includes places he does not like for personal reasons. This list has on it the Wetherspoons pub, some of the alleyways between the shops, and the bus stop where Henry Griffins punched him in the face that one time. In the last few days he has started adding discarded disposable face masks as proof of the damaged reality, along with missing cat posters and abandoned items of clothing. At first he is anxious. Surely someone will realise he has no idea what he's doing and is sending in really spurious data. But there are no query emails from his boss about his methodology, and he is being paid by someone to do this. As his evidence gets ever more peculiar, a strange idea takes hold of Simon. What if he's right? What if somehow he knows exactly what evidence to look for, indicating holes and weaknesses in the fabric of reality? Could he have an intuitive grasp of this somehow? In other contexts, this might seem like an irrational line of thought. Simon has experience of turning into a rhubarb plant at full moons. He is living with a duplicate of himself created when his rhubarb plant split. He sprouts leaves when he is drowsy. It is not therefore preposterous to think that he may have some innate way of identifying signs of threadbare reality. Maybe he got the job in the first place because his employer recognises that ability in him. In someone with more of an ego, this possibility might lead to all kinds of delusions of grandeur. Simon is an anxious soul, a bit of a people pleaser, and he has overdeveloped feelings of personal responsibility. He worries a lot. For example, are the discarded masks a cause or a symptom? He knows how bad plastic litter and single-use plastics are for the environment. Are these same plastics also bad for the fabric of reality? Will picking up the masks help limit the damage? Or will collecting them at landfill sites make an even larger problem somewhere else? What if they end up in the incinerator? Simon has always considered the incinerator to be a corrupt and sinister project. Now he's starting to think there might be more to it. If there can be magic, then there can be magical conspiracies and acts of magical corruption. There can, at least in theory, be people using magic in terrible ways. Unfortunately, there is no one who is talking about this. Not even the folk in the Beacon have material about supernatural conspiracy theories. There is, of course, a terrible irony in all of this, given Amagin's presence at the shop. To his credit, Simon feels uneasy enough about the Beacon to log it as a location where reality seems thin to him. He also notes an interesting discrepancy between posters attached to the inside of the window and those on the outside. He likes the ones on the outside. There is something playfully unpleasant about them, as though they mostly exist to mock what's on the inside. Simon is, of course, right about this, too. Bill Gates is using reverse psychology. He wants you to refuse his vaccine and die of COVID, reads the latest one. It makes Simon chuckle. There's an older poster still up that says, "COVID will close your mind to your angel guides. Vaccinate to maintain spiritual purity." There is a woman who has come up behind him and who appears to be reading the posters. "Who do you work for?" she asks. Simon pulls out his ID card with his face on it. She gives it a cursory glance. "I mean, the person you work for?" Simon's mouth flaps about awkwardly. He feels a strong urge to explain, but he has no words. "Interesting," says the woman. "Did you know you're under some kind of spell, in addition to your rhubarb issues, that is?" Simon's mouth keeps opening and closing, with no words coming out. He has wondered why he can never recall the name of his boss. "You should let me have a look at that." She is compelling, and he does not know how to resist as she takes the work tablet from his hands and examines it. Simon half expects the device to go up in smoke, but it does not. He's not right about everything, and he finds that knowledge reassuring. "Have a coffee with me." It is an instruction, not an invitation, and Simon is powerless to refuse. They sit outside one of the cafes, and the woman continues to poke about with his work tool. "I see," she says repeatedly, although what she sees remains a mystery. "Well, this is interesting." "Is it?" says Simon. She stares at him, which is disconcerting. "How would you map me?" she asks. Simon stares back, but his stomach is knotting, and his palms are slick with sweat. "Existential crisis," he says, which was always his favourite category. His mind is racing in the way hamsters race in hamster wheels. There's a lot of noise, speed and effort, but he knows he isn't getting anywhere. He draws a deep breath and finds there are words bubbling up. He allows them to emerge from his body unedited. "You're some sort of magic thing." "Yes," she says. "I am the wizard Whitminster, and you, Simon, are not just an interesting anomaly, but also a symptom of the peculiar time in which we find ourselves." "Oh," says Simon. "You will remember all of this," she adds. "We will meet here every week so I can check up on your work." "Are you my boss?" Simon asks. "I am now," says Whitminster, "but carry on as normal with your other boss." He nods. "You have a nose for magic," she tells him. "Am I right about them? About the signs, I mean?" "So far as I can tell," she says. "Reality is getting thinner, and I am going to find out why, and you are going to help me." "Of course I am," says Simon, because he is at heart a people-pleaser. He knows she's not done any specific magic on him. They both know that isn't necessary. Simon would do anything right now to have his life make even slightly more sense. And Whitminster seems like she could help with that.